morning, KOTA territory. Welcome to First Sip on our social media pages. Jesus, it's been one of those mornings, Kate. I don't know about you, but I'm struggling to talk this morning. It's
Yep, we're making our way through the week. It's coming to a close. I'm feeling a little tired today, which is not great for our first topic because it's I'm definitely gonna need some coffee this morning.
Yes.
But
yeah, and I mean, talking about the first topic, Kate. You know, we're talking about coffee here. So what have you been seeing, at least when it comes to like coffee and I mean the prices around that? I've gone to the store and seen that a couple of the previous bags that I used to buy are a little bit more expensive. Is that the case?
Yeah, you know, as most things, coffee prices are on the rise, but there are some different factors that are causing coffee prices to rise, reaching record highs in 2025. You might notice that when you go to buy your grounds on the shelves, it could be up to $4 more, while your local coffee shop latte is anywhere from $1 to $2 more expensive. So that can kind of cause a strain on your wallet, especially. I mean, whether or not you're buying it and drinking it every morning.
I mean, like over time, it does eventually start to strain. But you know, even though it is like a dollar or two increase, I mean, I guess it just depends on how much coffee people drink, right?
Right, exactly. So some of the things causing these prices to soar are climate change, economic pressures, and the geopolitical uncertainty, especially in the places that produce coffee, where we import all of our coffee to America. So climate change, droughts, and poor harvest seasons in those places like Brazil have caused huge dips in the amount of coffee being produced. So it's really a big struggle for those companies to not only get a hold of the need, the supply, but it also is causing them to spend more money to get coffee in, whether it's on shelves or behind.
Exactly.
The
No,
desk.
and something that's interesting is that even importing them from, I guess it's just a lot more difficult more expensive to import it inland, because I know Puerto Rico kind of produces coffee too, and being a territory of the U.S., but that's still importing that from the island is expensive in itself.
Right.
But a lot of the time, there's been, and I've heard kind of talks here and there, like, well, you can get European coffee, right? Well, European coffee also is imported from South America.
Yeah.
So there's this thing called the bean belt, which means that really, if you're just importing coffee altogether, it is expensive if it comes from South America. Italian coffee, that's pretty much imported from South America, and it's kind of roasted in Italy. If you're looking at that, if you're looking at other European brands, it's usually imported from the bean belt to Europe. Then they roast it there and kind of do add their magic there, and then they import it to the U.S., stuff like that. But it's expensive either way, and you would still see prices go up. What else can should our viewers kind of know about this increase?
Companies are responding much differently. Kind of your coffee shops are actually taking on the rise in price themselves. They're kind of putting it into their business models to kind of make sure the customer isn't paying the extra $1 to $2 for every single thing every single time. But companies that are putting those ground coffee bags on shelves in stores are passing the price onto consumers. So companies like J.M. Smucker, who produces a lot of our coffee and puts it on shelves here, they are pricing their ground coffee for up to $7 a pound. So it's kind of growing and growing, and you'll notice that it's almost getting cheaper to go out and buy your cup of coffee every morning than to maybe buy a 2-pound bag of
something that's interesting is I kind of want to know how some of our local coffee brands are kind of trying to swerve this price increase. That definitely be something interesting to kind of bring up to our news director, Jack Siebel, and kind of see what's going on with that, and maybe have somebody on that, because I am genuinely interested to see how they're fighting that or swerving through that.
Yeah, well, from coffee to water, drinking both may have their health benefits. So what are some of these benefits to drinking water?
Yeah, so kind of what we talked a little bit about yesterday. We kind of mentioned a little bit, talking about how many fluid ounces a person should be drinking. And for men, it's 3.7 liters or 15.6 cups. And for women, it's 2.7 liters or 11.4 cups.
Is that just because men maybe are taller typically, or where does that difference come from?
It's biology. So quite, in all honesty, and also, and you know, that can vary, especially. So let's say that's on average, right? But if a woman's working more, right, and they're doing more, they're exercising more, they're of course going to need more fluid ounces throughout the day. Versus the men, again, like I said, if they are doing more, then of course they're going to need more. So it just depends on the person and what they're doing. But on average, it's recommended that men receive a little bit more water, just because biologically it's more needed for them. But kind of some of the benefits of staying hydrated. And like I said, if you are an avid kind of person that exercises, if you like to go outside, do a lot of outdoor activities, then of course you're going to need more hydration, especially when it comes to lubricating your joints. Water helps with that. It helps you kind of lubricate and cushion your joints. It helps you improve your short-term memory. And it helps regulate your mood, which is really cool, because I know when I usually end up having a good day of hydration and I drink a lot, or a lot of water, and I kind of eat a lot of foods with a lot of fluid in it, I tend to be happier.
Right, yeah, I can definitely have a lot of,
yes.
Like side effects that you might not even realize. That's for sure.
And yes, and talking about some of those kind of side effects that keep you healthy, it actually helps with, kind of TMI. It helps your urinary tract health.
Right.
It also helps you reduce infections. So, for those people who are prone to that, maybe drinking more water might help kind of alleviate that. It helps your digestive tract, helps you. I know there's something I grew up knowing, or kind of under the impression, was that as you're eating, drink a cup of water while you're eating, or sure, you can have that sweet drink or whatever else you're drinking, but also add a cup of water in there or something. That definitely helps the digestive tract kind of do its job. And if you have a headache, drink some water. It reduces the intensity and can sometimes reduce the duration. But overall, I mean, how can you tell if you're dehydrated or hydrated enough? Well, if you're feeling thirsty, that's kind of one of the first things that you should be looking out for. If you're feeling thirsty, drink some water. And then if that should kind of help. If you're still feeling thirsty, then drink a little bit more water, but kind of start looking at your calling your primary healthcare provider, because that could be a symptom of something.
Well, if you're not drinking enough water, there are some other ways to get sources of hydration through food. What are some of those foods that you can eat? If maybe you don't love drinking so much water, it can kind of make you feel, sometimes you feel waterlogged, a little bit heavy, but if you eat some of these foods, it might give you some of that hydration you need for the day.
No, exactly. So some foods that help out: cucumber, celery, apples, raw broccoli, and carrots, which is, keep in mind in the raw broccoli, because that'll come up in the next topic that we talk about. But yeah, so those are just some of the foods. And everyday tips. I don't know if you do this. I think you do. I think I've seen you carry a water bottle around.
I do carry around one of those big 42-ounce ones with me every day. It's got a handle, so I don't drop it anywhere.
Yes, I kind of have to start doing that, because I used to do that, but then I got into the habit of doing it. Kind of need to start doing that once again, because I do tend to drink a lot of water throughout the day, but it gets kind of annoying having to go back to the water fountain every single time and whatnot. I mean, got to get those steps in. But is there anything that you do to kind of get the, or get yourself to drink more water, or kind of maybe have those high fluid snacks?
I usually drink about 3 of those 42-ounce things a day, so that's...
Oh my goodness.
Usually enough water for me. I drink 2 while I'm, usually at least 1.5 while I'm just at work, because I feel like I talk so much that it it helps me keep my voice kind of steady and strong. But yeah, I also love to eat vegetables. I always have carrots in my fridge, cucumbers. They kind of have to be in season for me, that's for sure. But yeah, I would find myself to be pretty hydrated most days, that's for sure.
Props to you, because I could I mean, to be honest with you, just drinking 2 of those is already, I struggle to even drink past 2. Yeah. So props to you. My hat's off for you if I had a hat. But kind of talking a little bit about, like I said, raw broccoli. It's commonly known that maybe some raw vegetables or fruits are better for you, and some people might not know that. Maybe cooking those raw fruits or veggies could actually help you out a little bit more. But kind of focusing on the veggies aspect of it. So the reason why you want to eat raw vegetables a little bit more often is that you have a high chance, or not high chance, but you have a higher content of vitamin C. You also have a high fiber content in those vegetables. But some vegetables are better off cooked in the sense that when you cook it, some of that vitamin C is lost and some of that fiber is lost in the cooking process. But in return, you get more oxidants from your food than if they were raw. So kind of going over some of the vegetables that are better off raw to eat are bell peppers, broccoli, as we mentioned before, that's also really high with the fluid content, kale, onions, spinach, beets, zucchini, have that higher vitamin C content, have the higher fiber that they lose when it's cooked. Not saying that it's bad cooked, I'm just saying that it's a little bit healthier raw.
Right, that's a little bit of a bummer. I do tend to like my onions cooked a little bit, and my broccoli too. I do like raw broccoli, like, you know, in those little vegetable trays, but usually if I buy broccoli at the store, I'm looking to roast it. So these are some good perspective to put into it before I, you know, maybe choose a snack for the day.
No, exactly. And kind of there are some, and the veggies that are kind of, you know, better off cooked, just some of them is recommended that carrots, spinach, again, as we mentioned, it's equally good raw and cooked. It just depends on the person, how you like your spinach cooked, right? Or how you like to eat your spinach. But then mushrooms, asparagus, cabbage, peppers, again, as I said, they do supply you with more oxidants. Again, you'd be sacrificing kind of a little bit less vitamin C and a little bit less fiber. But other than that, I mean, go crazy with your veggies. They're healthy either way. So
that's right. How do you like mushrooms? Do you like them at all, or?
I do. So I like to kind of fry my mushrooms or saute them. Either way, they're really good.
I'm not a huge fan of raw mushrooms, so it's good that they're better for you while they're cooked.
Exactly.
Even if you're tossing them in butter and garlic.
Yeah, I was just saying really quickly, what's your favorite type of mushroom? Mine's portobello.
Oh, interesting. I do like portobello as well. They're a great meat alternative, like a portobello, I don't know, I wouldn't say burger or whatever, but sandwich or something like
just
that.
Just a nice mushroom patty.
Yeah, right.
Too as well. But yeah, talking about some snacks that you could bring. What about bringing snacks to work? I know there's a lot of seasonal jobs around the Black Hills. What can you tell us about those seasonal jobs, Kate?
I know, we're coming into the spring season, which means everyone's going to be planting their gardens, looking to get those raw vegetables right away, and they're also maybe looking to supplement their income a little bit, which is, the Black Hills are a great place to do that. Some people move to the Black Hills for the summer solely just to find some work here, and due to our tourist-dependent economy, we have tons of opportunities for a ton of different sectors.
Right.
We had a story run this morning talking about our Parks and Rec department is looking for some seasonal hires, whether it's a lifeguard, maybe a cemetery worker. I don't know how you feel about that, but
I think it'd be cool. I wouldn't be opposed. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, they're looking for some landscapers. So some great work around here. Some other things, if those aren't kind of up your alley, are some lodging or resort staff. We have tons of, you know, cabins, stuff up out in the hills that are kind of looking for temporary workers to kind of fill in the gaps that, you know, the winter season kind of leaves.
Right.
And similarly, you know, campground positions, whether it's, you know, maintenance, work camper employees who kind of help set up the campers, stuff like that, and kind of keep it clean around the campsites. That might be a little bit more fun for me, but food service, especially in places like Keystone, Hill City, those kind of tourist heavy, populations, some of those restaurants over there, those ice cream shops are only open for the season. So they're only looking for seasonal workers. You know, if you're a high school student or you're a college student home for the summer, looking for some temporary work, those are some great places to look into. Similarly, in those kind of touristy hubs, retail, you can work at those gift shops, souvenir stores, those t-shirt stores that you kind of see lining the blocks everywhere.
Right.
Some other things, you know, you can look into our construction if you're looking to get your hands dirty a little bit. Some other outdoor activities. We have horseback riding, horse trails. We have hiking and water sports like the lifeguards, or even just working at the marinas.
Very big and notable kind of seasonal job titles. Really quickly, out of all these ones that we're looking at here, which was kind of interests you the most? I mean,
I would probably go into some of that Parks and Rec stuff, maybe work in the gardens, work at landscaping. That sounds fun, but otherwise, you know, I do have experience in food service, so I might head that direction too.
Right.
What about you?
Probably the tourism guides and attendant. I think that'd be really cool, kind of meeting the people that just come to visit the Black Hills and then saying hi and showing them around. I think that'd be really cool. But if some of our viewers are interested, where can they find kind of these listings?
You can check out some of your local job boards like Indeed, LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, places like that. But we also have a link on our website that takes you to some of the seasonal jobs that we have open here. So that's probably the best way to find it all consolidated into one place. So you're not just clicking through 17 websites, that's for sure.
No, exactly. All right, well, thank you, Kate, for that. And thank you for tuning in. That is all we have for you for First Sip here March 13th.
That's right.
But be sure to tune in tomorrow for your weekend weather outlook and DIY Friday Delights with Mimi Herrick. You don't want to miss that one. But for now, I'm Humberto Sanchez.
And I'm Kate Robinson. Have a good day.